Good morning everybody and welcome to Loch Lomond. In this week's video I'm going to show you what you can do when there's not too much foreground, when the conditions aren't absolutely perfect, and how you can start to use a bit of minimalism in your photography just to isolate the things that you are focusing on and not have any distractions round about it. Because sometimes you don't get the great view. I've been here for 4 days and literally this is the first part of good weather that we've had since we arrived. So I'm making the most of it. I'm going to try and get something a little bit more artistic. But as you know, when you're presented with leading lines as obvious as that, it's your God-given duty to take that photograph. Okay, so I've got the 24-70 out so I can get a nice wide view of this. It's also the only island in focus that's not shrouded in mist is the one that is at the end of the leading lines of these, I'm going to call them groins. I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but they lead perfectly out to the island that's in focus. Just check my focus, I'm going to zoom in a wee bit. I've got a bit of dirt and some rocks here in the foreground that I don't want. Again, with minimalism, you want to take as many distractions out of the image as possible. So I'm going to move a little bit to the right here, and again this is a really good tip. Don't just set up your first composition and then expect it to be perfect. What I found when I was too close to the leading lines of the posts is they were too close together. By moving a little bit further to the right now, they will separate out a little bit, but they're still pointing to where I want the photograph to draw the viewer's attention to. So I'll move out a little bit. I've got 3 of the posts now in focus. The island I'm looking at is slightly off centre, but I still think it balances the image quite well. And we'll see which one looks better. So for this shot we're going to use this little tree, can't be any more than 6 foot high. It's not super imposing, however I'm going to change the lens now to the 15-35 and I'm going to get really close to it. The wooden posts that I took in the other image are now on my right hand side, and if I'm lucky I could maybe get both of them in and again still draw the viewer's eye all the way through the photograph to the misty mountains in the background. So good tip is to keep changing your focal length, change your lenses if you've got them and try different things. Although I could zoom out to the 24 end of the 24-70, it doesn't give you the same lens distortion that the 15-35 does, and you get some really nice interesting perspectives when you use something as wide as that. So let's see what this looks like. And again, as I mentioned in a previous video, make sure you get down low. Probably not the best shot that I've ever taken, but it demonstrates the point. There's a clump of grass there that I'm probably going to need to clone out in Photoshop. Be good if that wasn't there, but you can't have everything. As you can see, the loch is an absolute mirror this morning, and if you're wanting to try and get the best reflections off water such as a loch or a lake, you need to get up early. There is literally no wind to speak about, and I'm at probably the only weekend of the year where in Scotland the midges haven't arrived yet. I'm fairly sure they'll be arriving in about a week or 2, and if I was sitting here without any protection, it would just be absolute torture. So if you're coming to Scotland and you're going to try and get up early in the morning when there's no wind, which the midges love, make sure you've got some appropriate spray to put on your face. In a couple of weeks' time I'll be covered in smidge and you'll be able to smell me a mile off. But so can the midges, and they do a B1 as we currently say in Scotland. So why are we here? If you can see out here, there is zero foreground to talk of. So I'm going to try and get a shot of this island out there, Inch Connaughton I think it is. That might be Inchconachan, that might be Inchlaneg, or it might be Inchmurren. So I've got the big boy out. I'm going to zoom all the way in because I'm going to try and get rid of all the distractions, the beach, the stones, the clouds too high up, and I'm going to just go in a nice little vignette, and hopefully I can isolate one or two of the treetops. I'm going to be patient and I'm going to sit here for a while because I've got a feeling that one of the ducks, the Canadian geese, or just a bird might fly into the shot, and if I get that low enough to the water, that should give me a really nice composition. If I don't, it still should be okay. And again, the whole point of this video is to not be scared of negative space and sometimes breaking the rules of foreground, midground and background. Just try and be a little bit more artistic in what you can see. And again, a super zoom lens is particularly good for this. You might notice I'm not using a tripod with this, which is not the best advice. However, with the in-body stabilisation in the Canon R5 and the in-body stabilisation in the lens, the two of them work together particularly well to give me a nice stable shot. I've got myself obviously seated so I can have a nice steady base, but it is getting bright enough now, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning, where I can get my ISO nice and low and I can get my shutter speed nice and high. Again, the rule that you're looking for is whatever you're zoomed in at, you want your shutter speed to be double your focal length. So at the moment I'm zoomed in at 600 and I'm trying to get my shutter speed to 1200 or 1/1200. But you know what I mean. I'll turn the camera on, I'll take the lens cap off. So now that I've got all the landscape shots that I want, I'm now going to sit and be patient and see if I can get a little bit of wildlife in here. I've changed the settings of my camera. I now have a shutter speed of 2000 so that if a bird does come in, I can capture that nice and sharp. I've bumped my ISO up to 800, so I'm not scared if I lose a little bit of quality on that. I can maybe do some post-processing to fix that later on in the edit. But the key thing here is to have a good exposed image. So I've checked my histogram, I'm slightly to the right, and my shutter speed is fast enough to catch the bird. The hardest part is tracking the bird with the zoom, because it can start to hunt for it. So I've set up my automatic settings for animal detect. It's got eye auto detect should I be close enough to one of the birds, but everything is set up. And now it's just a case of, will everything else play ball? What a morning, by the way. Honestly, see when you've been in a caravan for 3 days and you haven't seen one little bit of blue sky and you wake up to this, it's just phenomenal. Is there any reason why you're still in bed and you're not out with your camera? Here, birdie, 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 birdie. I guess one of the main lessons from this week's video is patience is key. I haven't travelled that far this morning. Okay, I'm on the banks of Loch Lomond, but I am staying in my caravan, which is just 100 metres over there. Okay, I've got a stunning island, I've got a really still loch, but I haven't went hiking up a mountain today. I've taken my camera out and I've let nature come to me. You can see from some of the shots, from just sitting, taking your time, enjoying the moment, that you can still get some great shots. So really just remember, this week's video is about trying to isolate a few subjects instead of just trying to take a big massive picture that has so many different things in it, and try and bring out the most interesting composition you can get just using that. Because it's not sometimes about the wide vista, it's about being a little bit more artistic, a bit more selective, and picking things that are pleasing to your eye. It's always great to get a photograph of some birds and to catch 2 Canadian geese and 4 of their brand new babies as well. Real nice. So that's us for this week, guys. Pretty short video this week, but I'll be back next week with more to talk about, and hopefully we'll end up in another stunning location. So please, if you can, like and subscribe.